Hi yogis, welcome. My name is Sonia. It's so wonderful to be here with you, and actually this week I am dog sitting for my parents. So I'm at my parents' house and there are 3 dogs here, so I'm like fingers crossed everyone lets me get through this practice with minimal distractions. But so there may be dogs. Let's begin seated. I'm going to sit up on a block if you have them. That might be nice, just to elevate the hips over the knees. Yeah, and so once you find yourself on your block, just let yourself sit nice and tall and shrug your shoulders up towards your ears really high, and then as you breathe out, perhaps let them roll down your back. And you can do a couple of these, and it can be with the breath if that feels good, or you can just breathe naturally as you shrug your shoulders and roll them down. And then start to let that shrug turn into circles. They come up and then back and down and around. And then moving in the other direction, so you're moving back up and then they're coming around and down. Yeah. And so now you might still be on your breath. That's perfect. However it is feeling most natural. Beautiful. And then just let yourself settle into some stillness as you sit tall. Notice I'm someone who tends to lean my chin forward, so you might just draw your chin down towards your chest just a little bit to elongate the back of your neck. And maybe you'll close your eyes or just let your gaze soften on something in front of you. Let the muscles of your belly get soft right around the diaphragm. And see if as you breathe here, if you can start to progressively let the breath enter this lower part of the belly. We tend to breathe in our chest pretty often, which is fine. But when we can breathe into the belly, we might find a little bit more nourishment, a little bit more depth. The belly is also a place where in our day-to-day life, we tend to hold it, right? Like holding it in. And so it can be really nice too to just counterbalance that experience with softness, to let our belly take up space. You know, as we move into different positions, sometimes it's beneficial for us to engage the belly, but for right now, just let it be soft, as soft as you can. Sometimes this can present its own challenge, so just be kind to yourself if it is, in little bits and pieces. And if your eyes are closed, you'll go ahead and open them, and we'll start with some side bend. So I think I'll look like I'm going in the opposite direction, but let your right hand come to the ground, and then the left arm reaches up and overhead. And then as you reach the fingertips up, lift the chest up, and then you'll tilt over. So by thinking about lifting the chest up, it's just going to help you from collapsing and rounding back. And then reach out of the fingertips enough to feel stretch, but you don't need to strain. We'll take a few breaths here as you reach, feeling both sit bones on the ground. If your left butt cheek is lifting up, then you'll just ease out of your reach a little bit. Spread the right fingers wide enough so you don't have like a little paw. Spread them wide, beautiful. And then the left arm reaches up and over, and then pause and center for just a second. And we'll do that to the other side. So the left hand reaches out, right arm stretches up and over. Lifting through the chest, and so feeling that spaciousness across the collarbones perhaps. Reaching through the fingers. Notice if you want to reach way behind your head, see if you can kind of keep the fingertips in line with the shoulder blade, or even reach the hand forward to just be kind and gentle to your shoulder. Another breath here. Wonderful. And then come up and back through center. Go ahead and interlace your hands behind your back. You can also use a strap or a towel if clasping the hands is uncomfortable. For a lot of us, it might be. And so either with the fingertips clasped or holding on to a strap, reach the knuckles down away from you any amount. So we're creating this lever to lift the chest, and then let the gaze come up towards the sky. Reaching, lifting. And then start to round the spine as you fold forward, so the hands will start to reach up behind you. And you don't have to go far. Once you just fold, maybe let the chin tuck towards your chest. And then starting with the hands leading the motion, then you'll lift yourself back up to sit. Beautiful. And then let it go and maybe give it a wiggle. Beautiful. Move your block to the side and find yourself on hands and knees. So do your best to have hips over knees and shoulders over wrists. And then we're going to make circles here. So if you want to watch me first, I'm going to lean my body over to the left and then reach forward and then roll around to the right, sending the hips over and then in coming back. And then I'm just going to keep making these circles. Hips come to the left, rolling around. Beautiful. So these could be pretty small circles or they might be big. For everybody, it's going to feel a little bit different. Just make sure that the fingertips are spread wide and that you're pressing into the fingertips, not just the wrists. We want to kind of build some proactive steps to make our hands and wrists happy. Beautiful. And then make your circles in the other direction. And so the belly can still be soft here. Right? We don't necessarily need to create too much additional support. So maybe let your belly hang out. Yeah. Wonderful. And then find your way just back to all fours. Hopefully that felt nice. And then we're going to step the right foot forward so you can use your hand to assist you for Untitled. So hands can come to blocks. This is nice. So I like to take a moment in each of these practices to just mention that the variations with arms or legs, you have a lot of options. And so if I'm not doing the option that works best for you, I want to encourage you to feel able to experiment and play and try some different things out. So for example, I can stay on the blocks here. I might reach my arms up. I can put my hands on my hips. So I just want you to really feel welcome to play, to experiment. So we're going to take this to a twist. After all that, we are going to come, bring your hands together in a prayer at heart center. As you press into the hands, we're looking to find a little bit of that space in the chest again, and then twist over to the right. For some of us, hooking this elbow on that right thigh feels all right. For a lot of us, that's just not comfortable. So if that's the case, as you twist over, let your forearm of your left hand come to your thigh, and then your right hand can come to your hip. So this way you're still getting that arm to leg leverage to help you twist, but you're not like hunched over. Yeah. So press left forearm or left elbow into the thigh and thigh into arm. So this is just helping you find a little bit of rotation. Keeping the collarbones broad. So if you find that you're crunching here, adjust, maybe come up a little bit more so you can have some space. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Sometimes twisting makes me burp. Okay. Then we'll come out, come back to center. Come and find your blocks if you do have them. Tuck the back toes. We're going to take Hanumanasana or half Hanumanasana. So lengthen the front leg. As you fold forward, as you flex the foot. I told myself when I started filming these videos, I was like, you're not allowed to edit anything out because I'm just a normal person doing some movement and maybe you are too. So I wanted to be transparent about how it looks when there's dogs around or you accidentally burp. Cool. Walk the hands forward and then step back into all fours. And we're going to find that Anjane on the other side. So we'll step our left foot forward. Start on those blocks. Yeah. In our front leg, we really want knee to find itself over the ankle. So you might adjust the foot, or you might bend, like send the hips back a little bit. Feel really able to be curious, right? For some time, because sometimes it is a matter of moving a foot, sometimes it is sending hips back or whatever it might be. Fortunately and unfortunately, it's not a one size fits all. So we have to kind of inquire about ourselves a little bit. Beautiful. And so work up the thighs towards each other so you have some stability here. And then we're going to bring our hands into prayer as we twist. And then either hooking the elbow, or I went forearm to leg on the other side, left hand to hip. So I'm going to find that here as well. And then maybe just take a peek at this thigh, see if it's fallen in towards center or maybe it's leaning out. See if knee over ankle, running through right the middle of the foot. And then breathing here. If you're able to breathe in and out through your nose, continue to do so. Kind of hoping I don't burp again. Cool. And then just another breath or two here. Oh, that felt good. Awesome. And come to center. So we'll move our blocks away. And then come back and then lift the hips up into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And stretch it out, so it might feel good to reach one heel to the ground and then the other. Maybe even like sway the hips from side to side. Same thing with the hands. I just want to kind of come back to this where we're sending weight through the whole hand. So into the fingertips is usually where we have to consciously remember to do our best to preserve our wrists. And maybe bend the knees nice and deep and then lift up through the sit bones. Yeah, beautiful. Long arms as best you can, pressing into the earth to lengthen the arms. Breathing here, settling in here. Maybe you're firing up here too, right? This can be really a very active shape. Let's lift the right leg up towards the sky. Do your best to lift from the heel to keep the hips level. And then draw knee to nose. And then lift it back up into that three-legged dog shape. And then knee to nose and step the foot forward. Cool. Come onto a block with the left hand as we twist here. Lower the left knee. Reach the right arm up. Yeah. So we're going to move between this Anjane with knee on the ground and then lifting the knee up. So squeeze the thighs towards each other and then lift the left knee. And we'll lower. Lifting the left knee. And lower. See if that left hand can be somewhat light on that block. Right, not holding all of your weight. And lower. And if you're like, girl, I got this, you can maybe hover the hand on the, there we go. I should have been counting. We'll do one more. Cool, and then come down, come back to center. I just realized I missed a shape on the other side. So let's step back, downward facing dog. And then just step the left foot forward, lower the knee. And then straighten the leg for Hanumanasana. Now I really did it. I said I can't edit it out and do it over again. Oh boy. And folding. Draw that left hip back. Notice if it's reaching forward. It doesn't have to be perfectly even. But we just want to see if we can bring it towards that central space. Beautiful. All right. Now we'll step into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. If you're someone who wants to add some of the vinyasas, chaturanga, to Urdhva Mukha or Bhujangasana, you are so welcome to do so while we're here, but that's optional. Left leg will lift towards the sky. Knee to nose. Beautiful. Come forward and then lifting it up. And then knee to nose, step the foot between as we twist. So having that hand on the block to start might be a nice option, and the left arm will lift. And when you're ready, back toes are tucked, lift the right knee and lower. Check in with that left leg, see what's happening there. Reaching up and down. Maybe you get a little bit lighter in this right hand. Maybe you reach into this twist. Hi, Daisy. One more up and lower. Yes, hi. Back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Again, you are welcome to flow if that's what you're feeling. And then we'll all walk towards the top of the mat. You could totally hop too, that could be fun. And fold, hands find blocks. I'm gonna reach for my shins. This feels good. Letting the head and neck get soft, so you might even shake it out to help you do so. Beautiful. And then release the hands. Have a hand on the block. We're coming into Arda Chandrasana. So the right hand will find this right block. Start with the left hand at the left hip. Sweep the left leg up. And then rotate this thigh out towards the pinky toe. So externally rotate. That's going to help you open up this hip. That left hand can absolutely stay on your hip here, or maybe you reach it up. I'm feeling like a little Chapasana would be nice for me. So bending the knee, you don't have to reach the foot. You might keep your hand on your hip or reach the toes. And doing your best to breathe fully and deeply. I'm reaching through the top of the head, so you're tall here. Wonderful. Let that foot go. Bend the standing leg, step back, warrior two. Nice wide arms, wide stance. Looking out over the fingertips. Oh, it's dinner time. Find star pose, so turn the toes in and reach up. And then heels and toes out for a goddess squat. Reaching in, exhale. Reaching up, exhale. One more star pose. And then open it to warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Left arm sweeps, you're gonna find a high lunge. Some of us have to hop the foot. You might be able to pivot the foot. Both are great. We're gonna twist here once again. So you're gonna either find hands in prayer, or you're gonna bring that left forearm to the thigh as we twist to the right hand side. Feel free to play. So try one variation, try the other one out and see which feels best for you today. It's not a matter of beginner, intermediate, or advanced, but just different options. And then maybe you lower the knee. If you want to do some of these, if you're feeling like, oh, that's too much, and stay exactly as you are. Ooh. It's gonna be the last one for me. And then we'll unwind our twist, lower your hands to the mat. Walk the hands to the inside of the right foot and then bring the right foot out for a lizard lunge. So you can lower onto the left knee. You can come onto blocks. Again, not to be a broken record, but you really have a lot of options in terms of variations here. I'm going to take us into a twisted variation that's similar to Chapasana, bending the back knee, and either the right hand finds this right thigh, maybe you reach for the toes, maybe you reach for the hip. For some bodies, this just does not feel good, and if that's the case, you can skip the twist, or you can just reach the right arm up. Yeah, beautiful. Hi, Daisy. Okay, let that foot go. And then lower your twist, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, step into plank pose. And then all the way, hips come up and back. And we'll keep things moving because Daisy has to eat dinner soon. So we'll walk our feet to our hands and fold. Take a moment to hang. Yeah. Oh, Daisy, Daisy. And when you're ready, release your arms. Left hand to a block. This is going to be interesting to try and balance. Into half moon, right hand to right hip, right leg lifts. Beautiful. Turning out towards the pinky side of the foot as the hips open up. like a door. Yeah. Stretching that right leg. And then if you chose that Shavasana variation on the other side, find it here as well. If balance is a little tricky, steady your gaze on something, not moving. In the Yoga Asana, we would call this our drishti, single pointed focus. Beautiful. Slowly let the foot go if you are bound, and then bend the standing leg back into Virabhadrasana 2. Doing your best to land lightly if possible. Finding head, heart, hips in one line. Right, not reaching forward or hanging back. Try to just be central. Strong legs. And then up into star pose. So turn the toes in, reach, reach, reach. This time let's actually interlace the fingers, and you might walk the feet in a little bit for added stability. Reach the fingertips up, lift the chest up. There's a little back bend available here if that feels good, or just reach tall. Beautiful. Let the arms go, heels in for the goddess squat. Bend your knees. 2 more, reach up and then bend. Last one as you reach. And then open into Vira 2. As high lunges next, the right arm sweeps and that back foot might just hop. Ooh, as the arms come up, steady here, right before anything else. For our twist, hopefully you're feeling confident in which option is working well for you, so finding that. Daisy, I promise you'll eat. And then if you did this back knee dip, going for it. Beautiful. All right. Ooh. Unwind your twist. Lower your hands for lizard lunge. So same variation as you found on the other side. If this felt nice, bending the knee, reaching a hand, maybe reaching for hips or for the foot. Nice steady breath wherever you are right now. If that's different than me, beautiful. Hi, Penny. Hi. Okay, I've got to change positions because we're going to be here for too long. Slowly let that go. Plant both hands, lift the back knee. Oh my. Okay. Plank pose. Oh my gosh. And lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Lower your knees. Okay. Well, okay. Hi, Mangoes. The gang's all here. I'm surprised we made it this long. Okay, come on, everybody. So I do actually want to have 1 or 2 more shapes before we finish. For a pigeon pose variation, we're going to see if they'll let me. So we're going to come supine for our pigeon instead. So when you're laying on your back, left foot is on the ground, and then cross the right ankle over your left thigh. So you can stay exactly where you are or decide to draw that left thigh towards you. Have a flex in that right foot. And then just let your back get heavier into the ground. So this is one of those shapes. It might feel really good, and you might even want to pause and stay here for a little bit longer for maybe something that resembles more of a yin hold. But if we're moving together, we're just going to bring that left foot to the ground, uncross the right leg, and just pause for a moment. And then when you're ready, the left ankle crosses over the right leg. Draw the right knee towards you, or stay as you are. Maybe you have a dog that you can rest your leg on. So we went from active as we're slowing it down. Beautiful, let that foot go. So from here, we're gonna come into our bridge. So if you wanted to have a block with you for the restorative variation, feet are on the ground, start with hips with distance and see how that feels. Right, some people say if you can tickle your heels, but for most of us, we're actually gonna want a little bit more room. And then go ahead, lift the hips and slide the block underneath. Penny, they can't see where the block is. They can't see where the block is, honey. Beautiful, and so you can stay here and we'll take a couple breaths. If you're looking for something more active, like I think that's what I'm needing today, bridge without the block as you lift the hips. I'm feeling a full send. I kind of need a wheel pose. So we have some options here for you to find what's going to work best for you. And if you've already been in your shape, you can start to come down. I don't want you to have to hang out there too long unless you're feeling comfortable. So whenever you're ready, I'm taking another breath or two here, just since I took a little more time. Beautiful. And then you'll lower down softly if possible. Beautiful. And here you can draw knees to chest and just kind of rock from side to side. Let's come up to sit and grab your block if you've got them, and we'll sit on our block. Finally, it seems like the excitement has worn down. And we'll just end with a twist, sitting up. Beautiful. So let's reach our arms up and overhead. One last twist over to the right. So open the arms, left hand to the left thigh. Your right fingertips might not reach the ground, so you can just rest it on your low back. And this can be gentle. We've done a significant amount of twisting. And release it. Reaching up. And then twisting over to the left. Yeah, so again, let this be a little bit softer. We don't have to really press ourselves into this. And then unwinding slowly as you come through center for our last few moments together here on our mat. Maybe taking a moment to just feel appreciation and to honor that you took time in your day to move, to breathe. To just be in this place of curiosity for one last moment. Seeing if we can bring with us this feeling out into our life, right? Once we step off our mat. And let your hands find each other over your heart. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much for joining me and for just the dog circus today. I'm sending you all my love and I'll see you soon.